Thank you, Dr. Angida and Sahani sir. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1412th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. Hubert de Silva. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. As all of you know that International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy was formed during the time of COVID, and it was formed by a group of homeopathic lovers at Dubai, and later homeopathic students and doctors joined the session, and thereby forming the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. We have 3 sessions now every day. The first session will be in Hindi from 7 to 8, and 8 to 9 the international session in English, and 9 to 10 we have local language session in Malayalam. And though it was planned for Dr. Prakash Rao this night, unfortunately, Doctor has an emergency. So, as all of you know that Dr. Hubert de Silva, one of the moderator as well as a person who is doing uploading our videos every day, is the guest tonight, and he is always there with presentations, always keeping as a standby every time with a good topic. That's the most important point as far as Dr. Hubert is concerned. He's a busy practitioner, running clinics from morning to night. But in between, he is uploading our videos, doing editing. Everything is done by Dr. Hubert. We must appreciate Dr. Gilbert for his intense love for homeopathy. That's not for any money purpose. He's doing all the services to promote homeopathy rather than gaining anything. So that is the beauty of Dr. Gilbert. As you know, he has completed his BHMS from Trivandrum Homeopathic Medical College, and he has MSc Psychology in his kitty also. And so he has more than 35 years of experience with him. He has presented so many beautiful sessions with a lot of slides with intense knowledge in, I must say, the intent with his depth of knowledge is something very, very high as far as he is concerned. And he has touched almost all areas in our sessions. And today, he will be discussing about management of endocrinological disorders with homeopathy. And this is not the first time, but this is the 5th presentation in that category. So we can proudly welcome the guest of the day, Dr. Hubert, along with the participants to the session. Welcome all to the session once again.
Thank you, Dr. Danesh. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Fine.
Today I am going to say sorry for you. Today my videos could not, even now, I could not even see the videos till now for to upload today. So I will do it tonight. Thank you all. We know that we are doing all this for the purpose of humanity. Let me share my screen. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, yes, everything fine. Beautiful.
Thank you. Now we were completed. Let's see. You know that I think that last time we are discussing about thymus gland.
Yes.
So before going to that class, let us think about thymus gland. There is one scripture says, James 3:5. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes a great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. To burn a forest, we can use a small little fire. Everything will burst, burn. Today I saw one video in Hong Kong. Storm, great storm, made so many calamities. Big trees were fallen, and the roofs of most of the buildings, some tiles and everything, it all vanished. But this is a great thing. We know that natural calamities are making very high damages. But our tongue is more than that. Tongue can produce wars. Tongue can destroy persons. Tongue can say blasphemy. Tongue can say all kinds of bad things. At the same time, the tongue can do blessings to the society and the humanity. So we have a tongue. We should keep it well. The same thing, the curses and at the same time, blessings are coming from through our tongue. So let us all, it is very difficult to control the tongue. So one person is perfect when his tongue is okay. So let us all make our tongue good. Then we go to thymus gland. It is situated near the sternum. A small organ, very small organ. It has two lobes, right lobe and left lobe. Here, it is between the two lungs. Very small organ. But what is the importance of it? Four hormones are produced: thymosin, somatostatin, and thymoeopathy. What thymosin hormones do? Thymosin is the hormone of the thymus, and it stimulates the development of disease-fighting T cells. Where is thymosin used? It is used to treat chemotherapy, induced immunosuppression, and to enhance the efficiency of influenza and hepatitis B vaccines in immunocompromised patients. Thymosin's alpha-1 therapy module modulates and partially normalizes T lymphocyte numbers and function. What I want to say is the T lymphocytes are produced. The thymus produces several hormones. Most notably, it produces thymosin, which stimulates T cell production. Researchers think thymosin acts upon the T cells that have matured in the thymus and prepares them for use throughout the body. So it is produced in the thymus gland. So our immunity is based the production of thymosin. thymus gland. Even though it is a very small organ, it is very much important in our aging process. We know that we have a medicine, selenium. Selenium, where selenium we use for some persons, some children, boys, looks like old people and their habit is like an old man. And grow, the aging process is more. That time we can think about selenium, acid foods, buforana. These are the medicines which carbo vegetables, then phosphorus. These are the medicines more we can use in the production of immunoglobulin and immunity to increase our immunity. One of the hormone, melatonin, we know that. Another hormone produced in the pineal body. Melatonin, a hormone from pineal body. This is also having a more action on thymus gland. Pineal gland produces this hormone, reaches here, and actions will be there, and the production, which are, we know that melatonin is a hormone which is more helpful in our sleep conditions. For sleeping, it helps. It controls the circadian rhythm of our body. Melatonin is an important hormone which produces sleep. We know that when the metabolism is, we know that catabolism, anabolism, and catabolism, these are all controlled by this hormone. If a person is not getting sufficient sleep, his life is lost. One person said to me that without sleep, what is life? Sleep. Every person should have sleep. We know that Napoleon Bonaparte, the great warrior, once said that he only sleeps 1 hour in a day. Even though it is sufficient, he says that it is sufficient. 1 hour. When he is in the war front, he says that I close. There are so many drawers in my head. Different department in our head. But whenever I need, I will close each and every drawers of my brain. Then I can sleep even in war front. So sometimes it is opened. Our brain is opened. That is why sleep cannot be there. Disturbed sleep will be there. A person having disturbed sleep, why? There are undigested thoughts are in his mind. I know that a person who was sleepless for 4 years. Once he got an answer for his question, and he slept that day till the 11 o'clock. The next day, 11 o'clock. This is one of the main problems for us in our daily practice. Some person having this type of thoughts, undigested thoughts, undigested elements in the brain, it may cause sleeplessness. Some persons having days, but some persons having years of sleeplessness. In such conditions, melatonin, we can know that this melatonin, whenever it is produced in the pineal body and it reaches in the thymus and it reaches in the whole body, we will go to sleep. So it is an important thing. Here, we know that thymus pineal gland, from here it is produced and reaches in the thymus gland. We know that pineal gland is a small pine cone shaped gland in the brain that produces melatonin, a hormone that helps regulate sleep pattern and circadian rhythm. The pineal gland is a part of the endocrine system and is located beneath the corpus callosum of the center of the brain. So we know that very small, we know that pituitary gland is a very small, but it is producing all these hormones in our body and grows a very small portion of the hormone can produce so many things in our body. There are 3 benefits of melatonin. What are the health benefits of taking melatonin? Melatonin, we know that melatonin, the allopaths, they are producing it like medicines, and they are giving it. Melatonin supplements may help with certain conditions such as jet lag, delayed sleep-wake phase disorder, some sleep disorders in children, and anxiety before after surgery. So some complicated thing. I'm not going today. What does melatonin do to you? The hormone melatonin plays a role in the sleep-wake cycle. Natural levels of melatonin in the blood are highest at night. Some research suggests that melatonin supplements might be helpful in treating sleep disorders, such as delayed sleep phase. They also may provide some relief from insomnia and jet lag. So they are giving supplements, melatonin supplements are giving. But we know that if it is functioning, normal production of the melatonin in our body, the problems can be. What are the medicines we are normally using for sleep disorders? We know that Nexomica, one of the important medicine for night watching. Nexomica, hyoscyamus. I already said that some thoughts in our mind, undigested thoughts in our mind, undigested feeling of more production in, we know that amygdala, one of the organ in our brain, amygdala producing certain hormones, certain emotion-making hormones. This all I discussed about in the previous classes. These are some of the organs which is making throughout regulating our body in a normal ease condition. Whenever these conditions are not functioning normal, that time these disorders may come. If you day before yesterday, on child, they bring a child on 1.5 years. That child was treated in an allopathic hospital for 10 days. Severe vomiting, 8 to 10 times a day. The allopaths could not do. This is a hospital nearby my hospital, and they were treating for 10 days. Day before yesterday, they came and told me that she is vomiting 8 to 10 times a day, that allopathy could not do anything. It is a big hospital, and so many patients are there. They came to me. But I examined it. I examined the child. And I examined his abdomen. I have a doubt that she is having some liver problem. Liver is tender, no tenderness, but some hardness is there. And the whole abdomen is having some bloated. I think that it may be bloated. So I give. Don't feel bad that I am using so many medicines. I use so many medicines. I am not a single medicine prescriber. I used Ipecac, Onam, then Lycopodium, Carbobate, and China, and Nexomica. These are the 4 medicines I used. For 5 medicines I used, because it should be controlled. Otherwise, the child may have some problem. Because she is 8 to 10 times she is vomiting. So I give that medicine. Today they came. They told me that. I asked when it is, what is the condition? And they came today, only 2 days after. They told me that after giving the first dose of my medicine, she never had vomiting till now. But I asked them to do some test that day, because I think that there may be some liver problems, because her stool is not normal color, and the hardness of the liver, 1.5 years of a child. So today, I give that medicines, these 5 medicines I gave, and within that medicine is completely okay. That child came today. But even though the conditions are okay, then I suspect that there is chances of liver damage, liver problems. I'm not saying that it is a marker, because I took that today. They show me that the test results and the ultrasound scan, but there is some urinary complaints are there. She had some urinary problems, and so there's also all should be considered in some conditions. So I told I am telling this because how our medicines are acting in wonderfully in conditions. In such conditions, we know that 10 days they could not do anything, but within that medicine, our medicines, Ipecac, completely stopped. After that, there is no vomiting of giving of Ipecac on them. And at the same time, I give that Carbobate, China, and Lycopodium, and Nexomica also. Now let us go to the melatonin. Is melatonin good for anxiety? A 2017 study indicated melatonin as an effective and safe option for treating people with anxiety following acute coronary syndrome. In 2018 study found that the administration of melatonin was more effective in improving anxiety and sleeping patterns than the drug oxycodone in people undergoing heart surgery. This is an allopathic method of treatment, but we should take when they are using these medicines. they can reduce the anxiety. We know that aconite is a medicine for anxiety. Arsenica alb is a medicine for using for anxiety. There are so many medicines. Gelsemium, argentum nitricum, and these are the medicines we are normally using in our day-to-day life. But from this theory, we can take that theory. From there, why they are using oxycypum? It's a sedative. They are using that sedative. But we have no natural medicine which helps to overcome insomnia and anxiety. So these are the medicine we know that. Wow, what are the conditions of argentum nitricum? Whenever a person going for outside, they want to go for several times in the toilet, going for examination funk. I heard that one of MP, once he was very much nervous to go to Parliament. We know that an MP is always doing talks, many talks in a day. But he is very much nervous. That time, one of the important doctor gave him gelsemium, and the conditions is over. We know that Indira Gandhi, she was very nervous. Before going to the Parliament, she is always studying. She never gets a peace of mind while going to the Parliament. Because that is, if we think that if it is a normal one, it is an abnormal one. But it is a normal. Sometimes it is a normal one because these two types of things are needed. Because then only we will be able, we will do that. To do what we want to do, we have to become a perfect man to produce that, to deliver a speech. We have to prepare. Always we have to prepare. Then only we can do. If the nervousness is good, if there is no nervousness, then we will not learn. Then we will think that we know something. Some persons, they know nothing, but they are very confident. But it is not good. We have to prepare all the time. We have to study. We know that many of our stalwarts and many pioneers in our platform, they are working. They are doing wonderful jobs. Why? They can do. They are studying each and every day. They are studying for each and case. They are going deep and deep each time. So the dimensions will be will be more. Whenever we see a patient in our early days, in the first day of our practice, I know that I gave one person, one child, it was in 1986, my first practicing day. I gave 6 doses of 200 sulfur to a child. The next day, they bring that child. The whole body was, I was frightened. After giving 6 doses of sulfur, 200, I was frightened. Then 25 years, I did not use a single dose of sulfur because I was very much frightened. Because the dosage is not right. That was my inexperience. From using inexperience in a same medicine, we know that different doctors using the same medicine, the effect will be different. A lady cooking, same cooking, 10 persons cooking with the same materials, the 10 taste will be there. Why? Same thing using 10 persons, 10 ladies or 10 persons using they are making a thing, a curry. then the different will be there. Each and everyone make differently because the taste of the 10 preparation will be different because that is we call, that is the blessing of a doctor or a person. Everything, we are using everything, we should have a blessing. Otherwise, we can do it is wonderfully. Which foods have melatonin? Here are 10 foods that naturally contain melatonin. You may even have most of these in your kitchen already. Milk. A glass of warm milk is well known and common sleep remedy, and for good reason. Tart cherry, fatty fish, rice, oats, mushrooms. These are the things we are using in the day-to-day life. Is melatonin good for skin? Melatonin benefits and how to include in your skincare. Research is showing that melatonin acts as an antioxidant, working to reduce the harm inflicted on the skin during the day. Topical melatonin is also important in a routine with an anti-aging focus, as it helps to protect against free radical induced cell damage. Melatonin. The benefits. It is acting as an antioxidant, working to reduce harm inflicted on the skin during the day. We know that our skin is always exposed to the atmosphere. Always. We are in the field, we are working, we are thinking, we are our stringing of our skin of the forehead. Because a person is thinking more, there will be wrinkles in his face. We are using which medicine? Selenium. Acid phosphorus, carbovegetabilis, hamamilis. These are important medicines. Then Nexomica, we know that Nexomica is a great medicine for to evacuate our stomach and stomach problems. If a person having a good defecation, day-to-day life, normal day-to-day life, he will be healthy. Everything starting from our stomach. Gas formation. Starting gas formation. We know that these are the medicines for upper abdomen, carbovegetabilis, lower abdomen, lycopodium, whole abdomen, Nexomica. So we can use all these medicines for the upper organs and the lower organs and the bowels and the small intestine and the large intestine. We know that yesterday, 2 days back, one person having an abdominal pain, and it is in the lower McBurney's area. But after checking, I could rebound tenderness and everything. I checked it. Then I found that it is not the reason. There is no any. I think that there is no any problem in the appendix. But we know that whenever the small intestine join to the large intestine, we know that the shape of the small intestine and the large intestine, there may be chances of blockages. That area is an important area. McBurney sign of the right lower iliac region is an important area because the small intestine joining to the transverse ascending colon, and it is going, how? Why it is going upward and rounding the whole abdomen? The large intestine going from ascending transverse colon and descending colon and cecum. The food particles is going from down to upper level and rounding the whole abdomen and reaching the lower part, and it is defecated, passing the stool. So we may be very much, sometimes we may be confused. In the upper abdomen, we may think that the problem will be in the with the duodenum or that area. But it will be in the transverse colon. But we should find out where it is starting. We know that in bleeding, the bleeding in the small intestine or in the duodenum or in the stomach, when he is passing the stool will be dark in color. The color of the stool will be dark. But whenever the bleeding, if there is any bleeding in the bleeding, but coming to the lower, the extreme parts of the intestines, the bleeding will be, the color will be reddish. So we are finding from this, we can find that it is a complaint from the ulcers in the duodenum or stomach. The stool will be black. But whenever it is coming to the bleeding in the large intestine, the bleeding will be becoming more reddish in color. So that time we can give phosphorus, hamamelis, arnica, calcareous carb. Because if nowadays we know that cholera and gastroenteritis is more. That time the mucous membrane of the intestine will be damaged easily. That pain will be there. Anywhere in the abdomen there will be pain. That time we generalized pain. We can see, we may think that it may be the complaints of mucous membrane in the lumen. Bleeding will be there. So we have to bleed. Generally, we can use the medicines. We know that phosphorus, hamamelis, arsenic alba. Now I want to say that I am using for cholera. Normally, I am giving. That is not right, even though it is not right, but I usually give camphor mother tincture for cholera and diarrhea. Because we have to control the condition, we have to give camphor mother tincture in sugar. It may control. But after that, we will give Mersol, arsenic alb. Mersol and arsenic alb is very much needed, and it will help in most of the cases of the these conditions. Then after that, if it is more, then we will use other medicines, Calimu, Califos, and these are the medicines we can give the tissue remedies. Also, it may give help in Calimur, Califos, Calcareous. These are the medicines we can make, and Macphos. 5 forces we can use, because magnesium phosphorus is used to reduce the pain of the abdomen in anywhere in the small or large intestine or the digestive system. That is a general medicine for to use the Belladonna, Macphos. So let us go to immune system. Defense mechanism, protection against diseases, defense against foreign bodies. If we have a healthy system, our body will overcome all these type of germs. Is melatonin a vitamin? Melatonin is a hormone secreted, I already said, it helps regulate other hormones and maintains the body's circadian rhythm. I think that 3 classes I took about the circadian rhythm. The importance of circadian rhythm, I already discussed in my previous classes. And melatonin hormone will control, maintain, regulate other hormones and maintain the body's circadian rhythm. Is melatonin good for the brain? In on-trial, melatonin improved verbal memory with slight improvements in other cognitive tests. Another trial showed that a single dose of melatonin enhanced memory functions while under stress, but not after stress. Is melatonin good for depression? Which medicines we are using most commonly? Anacardium. It may produce melatonin. That is why when we are giving anacardium in cases, our melatonin level will increase. That is why memory retained. So our medicines are, we know that our medicines are very active. Once one person took ganja, we know that ganja, intoxicant. Nexomica, he was laughing after taking the ganja. He could not control his laughing. That time, Nexomica was given, reaching at the tip of the tongue, the laugh diminished, and gone. I asked him, what happened while I give you Nexomica? He told me that while I am taking that intoxicant ganja, that's our cannabis indica is, I think that it is taken from ganja. I can see that person, everyone surrounding me having only one eye. It is dumping like a spring. It is dumping and coming to me. That was my feeling while getting that intoxication. And that time I was laughing. That was his condition. Because why he's laughing, we know that while taking these intoxicants, some persons are very much laughing. They could not control. Why? The hallucination, they're having a hallucination than surrounding things. Some persons, once a person taken like a small rice from his plate and he was keeping like this because he can see that it is like a big one. One rice is like a big one, magnified. It is many times magnified. So he was taking with whole hand only on taken on rice. That is why they are laughing. This condition, that time he told me that immediately my normal consciousness came and that laughing is. Then I can see each and every person as before. These are some of the hallucinations. We know that which are the medicines we are using for hallucinations. Stramonium, hyoscyamus, even baptisia, tercimium, lacasis, hallucinations for using hallucinations we have You see, now I think that the time is almost. So let us have a discussion. Okay. So, is it okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, I can stop share. Thank you all for watching.
Yes, as usual, a beautiful session. Really a scientific session. And definitely we need to study in this way. Then you also discussed about the medicine in different conditions also. That's also very good. Anyway, we can have a discussion. Those who want to have questions or those who want to clear your doubt can ask for that. Please raise your hand. I think Dr. Boblim is there. Dr. Bob? Yes, what's your opinion on today's presentation? If
Okay. Dr. Danesh, sorry, I was
Maybe.
about going to bed, but I just keep on listening to the webinar today. So excuse me if I'm not well dressed. uh, this has been a very fruitful session tonight, and especially Dr. Hubert, he has a lot of things to share, very good, informative, and I think he's an expert in endocrine and endocrinology. And today's session about melatonin has given us a very deep insight. And I wonder whether we to produce anything that can improve the melatonin level in our body, other than the like it says, we need a good rest. Then only the body can release the melatonin naturally. So there are some people who also use alpha wave to stimulate the production of melatonin. You see, when we go to a deep sleep, in the alpha or beta sleep, I think the melatonin will also be released at this time. And since he says that it's connected to the liver, so it will help in the liver detoxification process. I think overall it will help in the health of our body. And together with the homeopathic medicine, I think this will help us to improve the patient's overall health. So over to you, Dr. Hubert. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is because our metabolism is controlled, many times controlled by the these hormones. We know that dopamine and melatonin. In dopamine, in the while we are awakened in a awakened state in the daytime, the dopamine will help the do the things in a happy way. But while these are the two hormones intermingling, when the dopamine is reduced, that time melatonin will come up. When the melatonin come up, that time the dopamine will be reduced. The production of dopamine will be reduced. We know that some persons are very sleepy during the daytime. That is a difficult condition. They cannot concentrate with things. They cannot do things. They are always sleepy. There is chances of more production in the melatonin. That is not good for that is not good for the day of activity. that
is why most people they take an afternoon nap, right?
they were sleepy, very much sleepy, but doing that work they are sleepy all the time. Like that is not good. But that time we should have dopamine. But in the late time, we need we should have that is normally we can if we are doing, if you don't think, there are some methods of leading a life, how to go to sleep. Before going to sleep, that time we should take some breathing, deep breathing. Deep breathing, using that is a, if it is a usual procedure, then our brain will be calm. Will be relaxed condition. That time we can sleep. That time I told that what is doing Napoleon Bonaparte. He says that there are different departments in our brain. He closes each doors. He closes because he needs only 1 hour sleep is enough. Because we know that Indira Gandhi, our prime minister, former prime minister, and our even the Modi, our prime minister, they are very they sleep a few hours only. They are yogis. We know that they are doing yoga. And if we are doing yoga, we can reduce the normal procedure of, it is not needed for to take 16 to 18 respiration. Inspiration is not needed for a yogi. Small quantity, small a number of inspiration is not much important for them to, because 3-4 inspiration is enough for them to live a normal life. That is how the yoga, while taking yoga practicing, they can do.
They can release melatonin like that.
Yeah. At the same time, they can reduce, they can control their production of melatonin as well as the dopamine.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Hubert, thank you for that. Before I forget, I have another 2 questions regarding this.
Oh.
Okay. You say that okay, the dopamine and melatonin, they have what they call that, a balance equation with each other. So how does dopamine play the role in relation to the Parkinson disease?
Yeah, that is what nowadays scientists say, that the dopamine production is reduced due to that this Parkinson's disease. Maybe, I don't know. Because the scientists are confusing. Now only they are saying that this is due to the dopamine reduction, Parkinson's disease. But it is not, I don't think that it is a 100% perfect statement for it.
So we treat the patient instead of the disease, right? So we treat through our homeopathic way the vital force. When we balance the vital force, I think they will solve the problem of dopamine and Parkinsonism. Is that right?
Yeah. You are right. You are right.
General
You are right.
Physical, mental, and emotional symptom. That's the only approach. Okay.
Yeah,
Another
that is
thing
right.
is,
You are right,
I
sir.
was quite attracted by your statement that melatonin play a role in anti-aging. So how does it have relation with glutathione production? Glutathione also is a anti-aging factor in our body, and it's produced by, I think, the liver, if I'm not mistaken. So has it
right.
any relation with the melatonin release or what?
Maybe, sir.
Yeah, because melatonin make you rest, right? And the liver need rest to produce what they call that, glutathione, and whatever function the liver is going to function, because the body need a rest for the liver to function. Is that right?
Yeah, because these are all intermingled. We know that there is a feedback mechanism in everywhere. Whenever the production is in a normal body, whenever the production is sufficient, that time the opposite hormone will take over the action. They will control it. Normally, they will control it. Then we know that the parasympathetic and sympathetic action of the nervous system, they're also like that. Whenever we are taking some poison, that time that system will act against it. anti-peristaltic movement will be there. That will expel the thing, the dangerous thing. It is not needed for the body. It will reject it. But the same principle we are using. How? Whenever we are taking the homeopathic medicines in a healthy human being, the body will reject. That is what happening. Whenever the body is not rejected, that time disease will be there. The medicinal symptoms will be there. Normally, if a healthy human being, normally if we are taking homeopathic medicine, will not act because we are healthy. The body will reject the homeopathic medicine. Whenever the medicine overcome, if the dosage is overcoming, more and more medicine giving, that time we cannot resist the medicinal effect. That time we will be diseased. That is what is written, Hahnemann, as materia medica. Each and every medicine is having action, but some persons having hypersensitive. Some persons is not sensitive at all. So some persons, they are saying that homeopathic medicines have no action on our body. I took that medicine on dose and there is no product. I don't have any drug. This is produced. But it should be for a certain period till his body, the power of the body should be reduced with the homeopathic medicine. Then only we'll get the symptoms. That is what written in the materia medica. Hahnemann used the number 30 for several days. Then the symptoms are produced. Each and every medicine is having used for a several time. That time the medicine will be produced in our, that medicine produce drug symptoms. Then only it is written there. Whenever that condition, if the person is having that condition, we will give the medicine in a small doses, then it will expel the disease. That is what is happening in homeopathy.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Dr. Excellent answer. Now, Dr. Bob Lim, you can say what the thanks to the session also.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Danesh. I got only 1 minute, so I have to be fast. On behalf of the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy, in tonight's Saturday night webinar, uninterrupted webinar, Dr. Hubert has presented a very, very good knowledge sharing in this webinar regarding endocrine and especially about melatonin and the relations to the human body and the diseases. I think this has been a very good insight for us all. And once again, I would say a very, very thank you, a very much big thank you to Dr. Hubert for sharing tonight. And I hope that you will share more in the near future. I always like to hear your sharing in the webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Bob Lim. Dr. Hubert, you can say anything. You want to say anything?
Nothing, because I said already almost all things.
Okay. Tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Sumana Kumari Pandey, and Doctor will be discussing about study of calcareous carb through pediatric bronchial asthma in relation to abnormal calcium metabolism. That will be a very good subject to be discussed tomorrow. Hope all of you will be back at the same time tomorrow. With that, before that, thank you all participants for joining the session, and particularly our chief guest of the day, Dr. Hubert, for such a wonderful knowledge sharing process. Thank you all. Good night. It's over to Dr. Mariamma John to moderate the Malayalam session.